So another element on the immigration crackdown unfolding here in New York City. The mayor, Eric Adams, now appealing a temporary court order that keeps federal ICE agents off of Rikers Island. That's the city's largest jail. It's an island itself, right? Preventing the arrest of criminal migrants. Meanwhile, another island, President Trump is pushing to rebuild and reopen Alcatraz as a federal detention center. That place has been closed for more than 60 years. Former New York Mayor Bill de Blasio is back with us today, and retired NYPD Inspector Paul Mauro. And gentlemen, thank you for being here. Very interesting debate. Want to get into it right now and let you guys want to hear you out, okay? When Tom Homan was when he was nominated for his current position, what he said was repeatedly is that if you do not give us access to the prisons in America, we're not going to get the criminals out of America who he expects to do harm if free. Right now on Rikers Island, which has worked pretty well, I do believe, and I think it was your order that ordered it closed. It hasn't happened yet, and the idea was to build 5 different jails, 1 in each borough throughout the city of New York. Paul, to you first. I don't believe the city of New York is going to allow Homan access to Rikers Island. It's going to take a judge on a very high post to grant that. If you do not get access, what happens to the safety and security of the people here in New York long term?
So under New York City sanctuary laws, you cannot notify ICE unless the perpetrator has been convicted of a crime, and comes under the rubric of a series of violent felonies. So what happens? Almost uniformly in this city, excuse me, if you're charged with a felony, it gets knocked down to a misdemeanor. So right there, we can't notify ICE, okay? So that's off the board. So when you read about wannabe gangsters who were getting rolled up in Times Square, as we saw recently, who were 12, 13 years old. The reason you can't notify is because they are not convicted yet. There's no place to put them in a juvie system, and that's why they're right out. So under the law, you're not allowed to put, that is the New York City law, you're not allowed to put ICE in Rikers. You can't pick them up on the street because there's nobody to notify. They go in, they go right back out. Right now, as we speak, the most protected class in all of America is an underage criminal migrant in New York City. 3 hots in a cot, we welcome you here, and there's no mechanism to get them out.
3 hot meals in a cot. Got it. Okay.
3 hots in a cot. Okay. Any response to that? But also, what was the thinking behind closing Rikers and putting more jails within where people live?
Well, Rikers is a mess. It's 85 years old, I think, the facility. It's been horrible for the people who work there, for the correction officers. It's been horrible for the inmates. We've seen a huge number, unfortunately, of deaths and suicides there. We've seen a lot of violence towards correction officers, which is absolutely unacceptable. But a lot of people believe across the spectrum it comes back to this horribly ancient facility that's just not built for rehabilitation, doesn't work for the people who work there. And so what we said is, let's decentralize this, build modern jails that actually can support the work.
I think that makes sense. The problem, the pushback on that would be, well, we'll just make improvements to Rikers. You know, Rikers does not interfere with a single neighborhood in New York City. But if you were to take the plan and close it and open up 5 different jails, well, now you're impacting 5 different neighborhoods.
Yeah, Bill, I think part of the issue is, what are we trying to do with the correction system? Why is it even called the correction system, right? So I think there are some bad people in the world. We might all agree on this point. I think there are some bad people.
Including these criminal illegal migrants.
Well, listen, I'm saying I'm not someone who believes everyone can be turned into an angel. I do believe there's a lot of people's lives can be turned around. I think it's the whole reason it's called a correction system rather than just, you know, you're locked up for the rest of your life no matter what you did. So the idea is, do we have jails that actually help us to get people to become good citizens again, or do we have jails that are only making it worse? I think Rikers is one of those places that just doubled down. If someone went in a criminal, they became more of a criminal while they're there. So the idea of these borough-based jails, 1 in each borough, is make it a better modern facility that could focus on rehabilitation. Also, you want people's families to come visit them. You want to get people to want to be part of the community again and be normal citizens again. That was part of the idea.
Okay, but just on the ICE factor, do you understand what Paul is saying? That it seems like it's out of balance, that the criminals are giving all of these opportunities, and the citizens of the city are saying, what about us?
Yeah, no, Paul's got a good point. I have no problem when, and thank you for your service to New York City, by the way. I got no problem when someone says, something's broken here, we need to fix it. Clearly, look, the idea of the law we passed said, here's 170, I think that was number 170 violent or serious crimes. You do one of these things, you should be deported. We'll call ICE. We'll say, please take this person. but we believe in due process. And this is a fundamental question we all have to ask ourselves as Americans. For 250 years, our Constitution has said we don't make decisions just based on allegation. We do it when there's actually been due process. And that's for everyone, right?
Okay, all right. So
But to finish the point, I think Paul's got a good point. The juveniles end up being in a particular category that we need to address better. And I don't like, we've seen too much revolving door in New York City and New York State.
But Mr. Mayor,
I think some of our state laws need to be fixed.
One
too.
was 16, one was 17. You signed the raise the age law, so
No,
we can't do
my
anything
friend.
with those two.
Whoa.
Raise the age in New York
Raise
City.
the age is the
has
state
been
of New York.
bumped
That
up
was
twice.
Andrew Cuomo. I want you to.
All right, so
get us,
but you,
I know
supported
Italians.
it. I read your statement. You supported it. Number one. Number two. In moving the jails to the boroughs, your administration cut the jail beds 30 to 40%. You're saying you believe that there are people who are bad in this world. Right now, we got 6,500 people in Rikers. We don't lock anybody up now. We're going to go down 3,000. Most of them are going to have to be murderers. And by the way, again, it's only upon conviction that we're going to get them out.
Murderers,
so as a result, they're still running around.
Murderers don't go to Rikers. You know a lot about the criminal
They do
justice.
when they're arrested, and they do when they're down
and
to be
where do
adjudicated.
they go after that? To state
They go
prisons,
upstate, and then they come down to be adjudicated.
And what's happening now in New York City? I give Commissioner Jessica Tisch, the NYPD commissioner, a lot of credit, and the women and men of the NYPD. Crime has gone down precipitously, especially this first quarter of 2025.
needs to go down more.
100%, Bill. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. But this quarter had the lowest number of shootings in the first quarter of a year in history in New York City. Something's working. Let's give credit where credit is due.
A lot of things that aren't working are the quality of life problems, where you cannot actually. You could. It's.
Wait, that's a different topic, though, Dana.
I think it is I think it's related.
Of course it is. It's the same revolving door. You have migrant crimes who are coming in who are underage or even of age, right? There's nobody to notify, so as a result, we don't lock anybody up, but we do lock up the toothpaste. You've seen the videos. They come in, they walk right out. There's absolutely no recourse. And the idea was, we can't notify ICE because migrants who have been the victims of crimes are going to be afraid to come to the police. Now, that's laudable. The problem is this. They prey upon their own, and the victims know it. So the victims of the crimes are afraid to go to the police because they know this guy's going to get right back out. He's going to come back out at me. And by the way, look at what happened in Milwaukee. With that judge, what she did, that's institutionalized in New York City law. You can't come into my court.
The judge who allowed the defendant to walk out the back door.
Right. You have to have a judicial warrant, not an administrative warrant. And furthermore, you can't come in a city courtroom. So as a result, she grabs him, she snakes him out the side door. The victims of the crime, two women, and it's always women.
We're sitting in the courtroom.
We're sitting in the courtroom. That's literally the law in New York City. That's what we aspired to. That's what we're living with.
No, I disagree with that.
Gentlemen, listen, this is a great discussion.
We got to have a rematch.
One that will continue, and we can do round two next time, okay? But
lots at stake.
Bill, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
So much at stake.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.